Yemeni #1.
Fuck you. Whoever's cutting my feed. This is crazy, man. This thing like really pisses me off, man. Like no joke. I'm pissed, man. So I like to think that it was the elite that deleted my podcast. But at the same time, there's a part of me that goes, maybe it's just this stupid app. Because I don't know. This shit's just turning out to be super glitchy. I don't know if other people are having problems with this app. Now I'm going to have to figure out OBS and figure it out from there. God, just more problems. Anyways, where the fuck was I? I'm staying on track, man. Fuck this shit. So, just to recap real quick. I was talking about the gun debate and how we'll never get to the bottom of anything because we're so easily divided in this country, you know? And then I kind of wanted to go into how Trump was a piece of shit in basically stealing people's money. So let's watch this video here, and we can get down to the bottom of this bullshit. And just let's just watch this because, in all honesty, part of me feels this is very true because Trump is a fucking turd. But let's watch this.
Millions of dollars. At this time, I'd ask for unanimous consent to include in the record a video presentation describing how President Trump used the lies he told to raise millions of dollars from the American people. These fundraising schemes were also part of the effort to disseminate the false claims of election fraud.
Without objection, so
My name is Amanda Wick, and I'm Senior Investigative Counsel with the House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Between Election Day and January 6th, the Trump campaign sent millions of fundraising emails to Trump supporters, sometimes as many as 25
Suckers.
a day. The emails claimed the, quote, left-wing mob was undermining the election, implored supporters to, quote, step up to protect the integrity of the election, and encouraged them to, quote, fight back. But as the Select Committee has demonstrated, the Trump campaign knew these claims of voter fraud were false, yet they continued to barrage small-dollar donors with emails, encouraging them to donate to something called the Official Election Defense Fund. The Select Committee discovered no such fund existed.
I don't believe there is actually a fund called the Election Defense Fund.
Is it fair to say that the Election Defense Fund was another, I think we called it a marketing tactic?
yes.
And tell us about these funds as marketing tactics.
Just a topic matter where money could potentially go to be, how money could potentially be used.
The claims that the election was stolen were so successful, President Trump and his allies raised $250 million, nearly $100 million in the first week after the election. On November 9th, 2020, President Trump created a separate entity called the Save America PAC. Most of the money raised went to this newly created PAC, not to election-related litigation. The Select Committee discovered that the Save America PAC made millions of dollars of contributions to pro-Trump organizations, including $1 million to Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows' charitable
Well, look at that.
foundation, $1 million to the America First Policy
Look at that.
Institute, a conservative organization which employs several former Trump administration officials, $204,857 to the Trump Hotel Collection, and over $5 million to Event Strategies, Inc., the company that ran President Trump's January 6th rally on the Ellipse.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by...
Well, there you
On
go.
December 14th,
And there you
There
go.
would have been no fight.
I mean, in all honesty, the thing that gets me is that I'm personally myself trying to wrap my mind around where the bullshit is, because when you look up Fox News, of course, they're just like, that's not true. This is all a witch hunt by the Democrats. And there's a part of me that goes, maybe that's true too. Like, we're getting to a point right now, man, where who the fuck knows what's real anymore. But does it surprise you Like, if you're like me and you lean liberal and you hear a story about Trump, you instantly go, that motherfucker, without even thinking twice about it. This is what I mean by delete the elite. Delete them out of your goddamn fucking mind. Control-Alt-Delete your fucking brain to start looking at every single one of these motherfuckers as liars, because that's all they are, man. That's all they are. Yet at the same time, there's a part of me that just goes, yo, maybe, just maybe I can learn something from these people. Maybe I'm the idiot that's not realizing that, hey, the majority of people are fucking morons and you might as well make money off them. And then I could buy my mom a house with more pillars. I don't think my mom has enough pillars in her home, man. You know? As far as I'm concerned, man, I'm going to get pillars. I'm going to put pillars on my dick. My dick is going to be, I don't even need to get an erection anymore. They're just going to be propped up by pillars. I'm really big on these pillars, man. They're very phallic. It's like the house has dicks. So to me, it just drives me crazy, man. Even when I go back on the gun debate. That's the one thing right there, right now, which is very easy to just like look over people and go, oh man, it's so easy to see that there are people with good ideas, but because we're split into two groups, that we're fighting each other, right? Like, I saw Stephen Hofstetter, who is a hilarious comedian. I really look up to this guy. He leans very liberal, and he had a joke about, hey, you know, we really need to fix the gun problem in this country. What's the Republican solution? Doors. And then, like, he was making a joke about doors. And listen, man, if you really don't know the overall picture, if you're not looking at things from a macro, like a bird's eye view, it's easy. It's easy for you to be in the echo chamber of liberals, and now the echo chamber is spinning this whole, can you believe the fucking Republicans, they want to talk about doors? The gun problem, doors. I don't know about you, man, but when I listen to that idea, man, there's a part of me that goes, man, that makes a lot of sense. And right now, the elite has got us fighting in these two groups so much that it's so easy for the left to completely shut down the right when they come up with a good solution. Like, the right likes to look at the gun situation as, hey, guns are here. Let's try to build solutions around that instead of trying to say, hey, let's get rid of the AR-15. You know what's funny? The largest mass shooting in America was executed with handguns. It wasn't even a rifle. So what are you going to do? You're going to get rid of the AR-15 because it happens to be the weapon of choice of these bozos, these sick people who want to go blast children away. Well, you don't think that guy could still... A handgun still shoots bullets. So I'm with the conservatives on this shit where they're like, hey, man, you're not going to get rid of guns. Like, to me, even me being liberal, I look at the liberal side and it's just like, it just doesn't make sense that you think that getting rid of guns. Okay, first off, how are you going to get rid of all the guns in this country? That's not going to happen. And then two, what are you going to do? You're going to eliminate certain guns, certain rifles. So, okay, let's say you eliminate rifles. Then what? People are still going to find ways to kill you with a handgun. You get rid of handguns. Then what? They'll make handguns. I don't know if you noticed this, but out in the Philippines, I should have queued up video for this. Out in the Philippines, these motherfuckers are making their own guns. I saw a documentary on Vice where it talked about how the Philippines they copied the Constitution of America to make their own government. And then they of course, they tweaked it from there. But they used the Constitution as a basis for their country. So they have a Second Amendment and they are allowed to have guns. And I heard when you go to the Philippines, there are guns everywhere. This one Vice documentary was showing how during a political season, an election season, how like both sides, both presidents that were running were just just loaded with guns at any second, like both sides were shooting at each other. And then the documentary went even deeper, and it talked about how, like, even if you tried to restrict guns in this country, you couldn't even do it. Why? Because guns are so popular in the Philippines that some poor people, to make money, make handguns by hand. We're talking about 9mm Berettas. You know, like literally making replicas of 9mm Berettas by hand. So in the end, man, if someone wants to kill someone, it's going to happen. Yes, guns make it way easier. Guns, I understand where liberals look at that. Guns make it easier. So much easier to pull a trigger, have a projectile fly across the air, and then kill someone away from you. Much harder if we say we got rid of guns. You think there'll be that many school slashings? Probably, but probably not that many. I don't think people really want to go out of their way. I think people would rather shoot someone with a bullet than run up to that person with a knife and stab it through their heart and watch them die while you look at them. I think that's harder. So, yeah, I understand what liberals are saying. Hey, man, guns make it so easy to kill. That's true. But it also makes it very easy for you to protect yourself. And I just think that we should get guns. I'm liberal. Like earlier when I was talking about how making guns, we should have some regulations, but the regulations should be something that doesn't slow down the process. I am still not allowed to get a gun in the state of California, and I have no idea why. My background check keeps coming back saying no. And they won't give me a reason. And then now I did it the third time, and the people at the gun shop said, well, since you did the first background check, they asked you to do a live scan check, which is a deeper check. And then that thing came back, and then now you got to go do another check to make sure everything is right. And then that came back and said no again. It's been 6 months, and I still haven't had a handgun. And I wanted to get a handgun because the guy below me got robbed 10 a.m. in the morning, and I'm supposed to be in a nice area. Now everything's turning into Detroit. People are getting their cars broken into, even in the underground parking garage that we have, even though that we have a security guy walking. And I still can't get it. Honorable discharge Marine, no gun. And they won't give me an explanation. So I got till like maybe the end of this month to find out for sure if it comes back or not. And if it doesn't, I called the number, and guess what the number says? Get a lawyer. What? That's the state of California for you. So I understand where conservatives come from when they're just like, yo, Second Amendment is Second Amendment. Let's leave it that way because they're coming for our guns. I understand now. I really do understand where conservatives are coming from. And me as a liberal, someone who thinks that we should have sensible regulation. Now what I'm going through makes me go, well, what's the definition of sensible? Because to the state of California, what they're doing to me is sensible. So to me, it's like, we really need to delete the elite from our minds. We need to stop letting these fuckers crowd our brains and get us to not think straight, right? When I bring up that we should have a single point of entry that a lot of conservatives have posed as a very possible solution to mitigate guns coming into a school, I say that sounds like a great logical idea that helps, that looks at the landscape of what's going on and goes, hey, there's got to be a better solution for this. And this seems to be like a solution. And then I also heard Joe Rogan just had a gun enthusiast on his podcast who was saying that a lot of people on the left say, oh, well, then you're just going to militarize the schools, that you're going to put these single point of entries and it's going to feel like they're walking in a prison. And from what he was saying is they actually have things that are designed in a way where it doesn't look like that. It won't even really change the way the school looks that much. But we would just have to put money into doing this. But we won't do that. Instead, we're going to send $40 billion to Ukraine. And I'm not saying that like those people don't need help. They do. They probably wouldn't be able to survive as much if it wasn't for us. And there's a part of me that goes, yeah, man, I'm kind of cool with that. But then where's the help for our people? We have inner cities that are falling apart. A lot of gun violence comes from the fact that a lot of these inner cities are falling apart and nobody's doing anything to help these areas. So to me, it's like you put that into perspective, and it really, really, really puts into perspective how easy it is for us to be divided. Because I like to talk single point of entry with people. As soon as I bring it up to my liberal friends, they shut down. Just like when I talk to anyone who's a conservative and I start talking to them about sensible gun regulation, they shut down. And to be honest, that's how they get us. That's how Trump is able to get $250 million from fucking dumb people by using trigger words like the left mob. That's why I get sick when I talk to people and they start telling me, oh, man, the conservatives are. I have a friend of mine who is the nicest guy. He's a very smart dude, too. One of the biggest hearts, okay? And he has a seething hatred for conservatives because deep down he associates the conservatives with the shitty people in his own family. Like his dad is super conservative. He can't stand it. And, and like he has this strife with his family and he kind of writes them off because of their fucked up views, according to him. Now, I haven't really met these people inside his family. And I, according to him, they're very shitty people. But yet at the same time, he uses that same energy to blanket all conservatives. Like he literally looks at when you bring up the term conservative, he shuts down and he doesn't even look at them as human anymore. It's like he becomes a cyborg that's out to just be like, yo, man, those people need to go. They're fucking trash. Like when Trump got in office and then he's fucked up a little bit. This guy literally said, bro, we should just assassinate him. And there's a problem in that. The fact that I have friends of mine that can look at people on the other side in a very cartoonish way and look at them as inhumane and completely write them off as if any of their ideas doesn't come from a humane place is fucking scary. To me, that is the recipe for tyranny. Like when and listen, I don't want to make this connection, but there's some resemblance in this. The fact that I have a friend of mine that's able to look at the other side in such a black and white way, I can't help but see in that the same type of person that would have been manipulated under the Nazi regime to hate Jewish people. Now, you may look at, but why? You can't equate that with people on the left looking at, yes, I can. In there is a thread of relativity. In there is the same mechanics being used to fucking manipulate us. And to me, that shit fucking pisses me off, And then, anyways, you know what? I want to move on because now that I'm on Trump, let's talk about Biden. Let's take it out to the other side real quick before I go. Inflation is at an all-time high right now. It is literally out of control. Gas prices are going up. A lot of it because the supply has been cut because of our problems with Russia. So there's a supply issue with gas, but then there's also inflation on top of it. Like the dollar is weaker. To me, it's really funny that I'm like scouring the internet to see all these experts go, I think we finally figured out what's up with inflation. We've really gotten to a point that we've been so polarized that even the economists are now bipartisan. I have to go to a conservative economist to get one story about inflation. Then I got to go to a Democratic or fucking left-leaning economist to get their take on it. And it's just, where's the truth? Because from what I'm gathering, the economists that lean conservative are telling more of the truth of what's happening with inflation, because it's easy for them to tell the truth because the person in charge now is not a conservative. If the person in charge now was Trump, they would sound a lot more like the left-leaning people that are lying for Biden. So right now, the right-leaning conservatives are saying that inflation is at an all-time high because the Biden administration decided to print all this money for pandemic relief. I believe that, because you print more money, it's just going to reduce the power of it, right? Then at the same time, those economists are also saying a lot of it is overspending during the pandemic. People now have way more money than they ever had before. Spending was at an all-time high during the pandemic because people actually had so much money. And all that spending that went into the pandemic ended up rising prices because we ended up printing $70 trillion more dollars. Every economist that's middle of the road knows you print more money, you're just going to create inflation. But instead, no one wants to talk about that. They want to blame everything else. And that's because the Federal Reserve runs our printing press. Did you know that before the establishment of the Federal Reserve, which is not even a federal company, they call it federal, but it's not federal. The Federal Reserve is all of the top big banks, private banks that run our money, who come together under this board, under this fake umbrella of being federal, and they print our money for us, where before we were the ones that owned the printing press. So before the establishment of the Federal Reserve, which I think was like 1920 or around that time, I don't know the exact date. Before that, we printed our own money. Then bankers convinced the government to be like, nah, we should print the money and we should control the money. And we should charge the American people for it. Think about that for a second. This is one thing that I want people to fucking understand. That's like you buying a printer to print your own stuff at home. And then I make a law that says, no. I'm coming in your house. I'm taking your printer. Now, anything you need printed, you got to ask me to do it. And now I got to charge you interest. That's what the national debt is. People don't know that the national debt is our debt money owed to the banks who have captured our printer. It's a big ass fucking scheme, and not many of us know what the fuck is going on. So this whole inflation thing, you guys got to realize, is it all boils down to the banks. They're the ones that run everything. They are the banksters. Not only that, they have all the money to a point where they can like tell people, and they can manipulate our media to get us confused as to what the real problem with inflation is. And this video that I'm going to show you will show you just that. I found a really good montage of the Biden administration going out of their way to try to explain away inflation, and listen to some of these things that they say. They even blame Putin. Roll tape.
I really doubt that we're going to see an inflationary cycle.
Most economic analysts believe that it will have a temporary or transitory impact.
The faster than expected increase in some of those prices is actually a good sign.
The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down. No one's talking about this great,
This is something that will settle down.
Transitory.
Now, mind you, this is before they started printing all this money and a little bit after they started printing all this money to fund the pandemic. And while people on the other side were like, yo, man, this is going to create inflation. And look at, this is.
And the data shows that most of the price increases we've seen were expected and are expected to be temporary. There's nobody suggesting there's unchecked inflation on the way. It's highly unlikely that it's going to be long-term inflation that's going to get out of hand. I don't know anybody who's worried about inflation.
Over the last couple of months, we actually saw it trended downward.
President Biden's chief of staff, Ron Klain, enthusiastically retweeted an economist who had said in part most of the economic problems we're facing, inflation, supply chains, et cetera, are high-class problems.
What is the Granholm plan to increase oil production in America?
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Well, the number one thing that the president can do is help get COVID under control. That we know is the root cause of inflation.
President Biden this afternoon saying he thinks we're at the peak of the crisis right now and that lower prices are on the way.
The inflation has everything to do with the supply chain. Make no mistake, inflation is largely the fault of Putin.
Putin! Oh, the inflation is because my mom's got too many pillars in her house, bro. Oh, fucking Putin. Putin it fucked up the supply chain of pillars. So many Italian people are going to be pissed off, bro. God damn it, man.
Everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home.
Putin's price hike. So that's where we're getting at, right? You know what? I love that Biden is president because it really puts into perspective the type of robot you need to be to do that job. All you got to do is be a monkey and you got to remember a script. If you fucking look at Biden, that's all that motherfucker's doing. He's playing to a script. And the script is so apparent. The script is, bro, blame everything but the banks. Don't talk about the banksters, man. Those guys have enough money to kill you.
Want to get rid of inflation, the only way to do it is to undo a lot of the Trump tax cuts.
Trump. Let's blame Trump.
Since you've come into office, things are really looking up. You know, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything.
Anyways. Phone lines are open. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. If anybody live wants to call in, please do. Let's fucking talk about this shit. I'm at a point right now where I'm starting to think that maybe the best thing to do is to be be like a Trump person, because why should I get frustrated that people are too stupid to figure it out? I might as well make money off it, bro. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be one of those guys that's going to be having those commercials late at night where I sell tacky fucked up coins like 9/11 memorial coin, Trump stop the steal coin, made with 14 karat gold, but we don't tell you how much gold is in it. You get it and it's like it's gold plated. Oh man, you mean this coin is only like plated with gold leaf? Yeah, you dumb bitch. That's what you get. Give money to Trump too. Fucking dumbass. Let's go to the thing. Inflation is worldwide right now, though, not just the USA. Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, for sure. But honestly, why do I give a fuck about it? Yeah, we are in a global economy. And sure, there's a lot of things that come into play. But, bro, printing trillions of dollars is already a sign that inflation is coming. It's almost not rocket science. When I listen to pragmatic economists, the ones that don't lean left or right, they'll tell you straight up, oh shit, we're printing all this money. Well, get ready for inflation. Peter Schiff's been fucking saying it. All kinds of economists that don't lean either way are saying. I ended up seeing another article. Let me see if I can pull it up right now. Man, I hope I can find it. Where is it? There was an article that I had up, and it was from an economist that leans super right, left. And of course, one I read was an opinion piece, and the opinion piece pointed out that a lot of our inflation was coming from overspending during the pandemic for pandemic relief. Yet at the same time, I found this other article right here. Robert Reich. Now, Robert Reich, if you don't know, man, I've seen this guy many times. This guy leans super right, left. Let me share the screen here. This guy leans super left. Now, to me, and this is not anything to do with left or right. To me, it's just I want you to pay attention at how easy it is for people to sway their opinions. So these people that are in public, all they do is sway their opinions dependent on who's in charge, right? This guy leans 100% left, okay? So now is the time for him to do everything he can to explain away the problems so that the administration doesn't get the heat. And usually when people lean a certain way and then a leader of theirs is in charge, they will lie out of their fucking asshole to do everything they can to take the heat off of their candidate. And the only time you can really trust these people is when the other side is in charge. And then now all of a sudden, man, Trump, man, you shouldn't have printed all that money. Everyone knows when you print so much money, it causes inflation. Tisk, 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 Trump. And you flip it. And then now Biden's in office. And now what this guy's saying is, no. Inflation is not real. Inflation is because of the corporations. So his reasoning here is that the corporations are saying, what he's saying is that they're raising prices during the pandemic and they're reaping massive profits because of it. Now, honestly, this article is fucking right with bullshit, man. Okay? He is pointing out some key facts, right? That look at their profits went up during the pandemic. Their profits went up. That's why they made all that money, is because their profits went up. They were raising prices artificially, taking advantage of this idea that inflation was coming and saying, we had to like increase our prices because transportation and gas went up and materials went up and everything went up and less people are fucking working because they got more money. He's saying, no, that's bullshit. There is no inflation. There's only corporations that are manipulating prices. And why? Well, they made so much money. But what he doesn't fucking understand is they made all that fucking money because people now have more money to spend because we printed trillions of dollars and gave it to people. I got one of my favorite restaurants here in Dearborn. I can barely get them to answer the phone anymore because they can't get people to work for them. In the height of the damn pandemic, I saw that place was bustling. I've never seen it so busy in my entire life. And then all of a sudden, I was like, hey, man, congratulations. He's like, congratulations, my ass, motherfucker. He goes, I'm working my ass off. He goes, look behind me. I got no workers. Everyone here is my family. My mom's here. My aunt's here. My dad's here. My entire family had to stop what they're doing to come here and run this freaking restaurant. Because people have too much fucking money collecting unemployment. Why would they still work? I'm just baffled right now at how easy it is to see, but yet nobody else sees it. It's so easy to see that anyone who leans a certain way and their person is in charge, they explain away the truth to make sure that their fucking guy seems squeaky clean. But then all of a sudden, when their guy is no longer in power and it's the other guy, now they speak the truth. Because it's so apparent. This article fucking pissed me off, man. All he was doing was just, fucking corporations. And that's what happens when you stick to your guns when it comes to believing in your echo chamber and believing in what people are saying within your fucking echo chamber. It just gets you to do whatever you can to explain away the problems of the people that you believe in. It's almost like religion, right? If I talk to a Muslim about how ridiculous the Bible is, that Muslim would go, yeah, man, it's fucking just stupid. I think it's stupid, bro. Yeah, man, they keep changing it. They keep rewriting it. They keep doing that. You keep doing this. They really manipulated that thing, bro. Yeah, man, I don't know. The Bible's messed up. Yeah, I don't know how do Christians believe what they believe in? How do Catholics believe what they believe in? Isn't that crazy, bro? Can you believe that? They can sit there and they can go like kill someone and then all they got to do is talk to a priest and the priest tells them, hey, God forgave you. And then you go on. Can you believe they believe that? And the Muslim goes, yeah, bro, that's fucking stupid. That's so dumb. Then you go to the Muslim. He's like, hey, man, what's up with this chapter over here that says that you could beat your wife? Oh, that's not what that is. That's not. But it says right here that if she mouths off to you, you tell her. And if she doesn't listen to you, you tell her again. And if she still doesn't listen to you, you take her into your bedroom, you place her on your bed, and you beat her. Says it right there in the Quran. I think this is kind of bad towards women, don't you think? No. That's not what that is, bro. It's not what that is. You see, the Quran was written at a time with a dead language called Aramaic, and then it was written in a poetic way because it came down from God, and the Prophet Muhammad wrote it with fire that came out of his finger. And, so like some things are lost in translation, bro. You got to talk to a scholar to find out exactly what that means. But it doesn't mean that you got to hit women. But it says right there to beat her. Oh, but what you don't know is, they all tell me, you know what? It's lightly. You got to hit them lightly, bro. To which I go, okay, then maybe instead of God telling you that you should hit your woman, maybe actually those are instructions for BDSM. Maybe God was a freak, bro. Maybe what God was really saying is that, hey, tell your wife to listen to you. She doesn't listen to you once, you tell her again. And if she doesn't listen to you again, that bitch is a little freak, bro. That girl right there likes BDSM. The only way you're going to get through to her is you're going to have to role play. Take her to your room, take her to your bed, call her a bad girl, and slap her on the ass lightly. And then proceed to dick that bitch down. Give her the orgasm of her fucking life, and she'll listen to you. That's what I think it is. But a Muslim could be like, no, bro, that's... No. But then if you show that same thing to a Catholic person, they'd be like, God damn, that's mean to women. You see? Islam is trash. That is basically what the fuck is happening. Everything you're seeing right now is exactly what's happening. Inflation is very easy to understand. Supply and demand. Increase the supply, and you don't have enough demand, the price of the value of that goes down. All these fucking partisan economists trying to explain away shit so that their side looks better. This fucking guy Reich trying to say that the problem with inflation is really the corporations increasing the prices artificially to make more profits. And yo, you can see, look, they made more money this year than they did before the pandemic. Yet he doesn't want to explain the fact that Biden printed $3 trillion, pumped it into the economy, and now people have way more money to spend, and they spent more money. It's proven. I think we spent like $1.6 trillion more last year than we normally do as a whole. Well, where did that money come from? Exactly. So delete the elite, bitches. Get them out of your goddamn fucking brain. Yes, Bacon, I'm still going, bro. Robbie, thank you for showing up, bro. Good to see you, man. You are late. Not only that, this thing crashed 3 times. This is the 3rd time I had to put it up. I actually did 45 minutes on just this one thing. I was on a roll. Now I got to stitch this up with all the other podcasts to do the audio version. It's going to be a long ass audio. Technically, Tracy says Professor Reich is awesome. Is he? I think he's partisan. That's what I think he is, in all honesty. And you know what? I would love to get an economist on here one day to actually put me in my place. But to me, it's very apparent to see how easy it is for these people to manipulate us. And you get guys like Trump that are able to siphon $250 million from Americans that, you know, were duped into believing that the election was rigged. And there you go. You know? And it was very easy for him to do because all he had to do was go the left mob. And man, the people on the right like, yo. So, anyways, they don't give us the real inflation numbers. They make new criteria for the math to make it look lower than it really is. Yeah, I don't even know what they do with the math. I have no idea if that is the case or not. You know, but I definitely want to do some more research on this because I do find it very interesting. And like some of you guys that listen to me know, one of my favorite things is to suss out the bullshit, man. You know, we're all full of shit. All of us. Varying degrees, right? Even the people that are not full of shit are kind of full of shit in some way. So, yeah. Anyways, I had fun with this one. This one really got me fired up. Haven't talked politics in a minute, but yeah, this one got me fired up. Okay, so just wanted to let you know I'm starting to plan future podcasts. And on the 27th, are we doing, 27th? Hold on a second. Oh, I don't think I've set it up. Well, I got some podcasts coming up next week. I plan on having a guest, and then the week after, I'm going to have Trey Stewart, my hilarious friend, and I'm also going to be on his podcast. And like I said, this weekend, House of Comedy, downtown Detroit, inside Hockey Town, Friday 8 p.m., Saturday 8 p.m. If you plan on coming, DM me on my socials and let me know that you want some tickets, and I will get you tickets for the show. Friday 8 p.m. or Saturday 8 p.m., Detroit House of Comedy, inside the Hockey Town, downtown Detroit, this weekend, June 17th and 18th, 2022. There is that, and I have other dates coming up. I'm going to be coming to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, the Memorial Day weekend. Myself and hilarious Marine comic Mike Vinn are coming to Philly. We're going to be at Soul Joel Comedy Club. Soul Joel's Comedy Club in Jeffersonville, Pennsylvania, November 11th and November 12th. I would love to see you guys there. And those of you that are listening to the audio version, please, would love to see you guys live. I try to go live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. That's 5 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes I have guests. Sometimes I rant like this alone. It seems like people love the alone rants. I'm noticing that I'm getting some pretty good downloads on the audio version whenever I'm ranting and getting pissed. Thinking about starting another podcast about sex and relationships and getting better sleep. And I'm going to call it Sleeping with the Yemeni. Tracy said that she's got some ideas for it. I'm going to have to hit her up. Sorry I didn't get back to you. I'm so ADD and I got so much going on, but I do plan on hitting up Tracy to see what ideas she's got. If you got any ideas for the podcast, let me know. Hit me up. I'm going to set up an email address just for the podcast, and I'll get that started soon. Guys, you guys are fucking amazing. I love you guys for watching. I'm really glad that even after all these stupid glitches, you motherfuckers stayed on top of my Twitter, stayed on top of my Facebook. You knew exactly when I was going to post it again, and you guys showed up still. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and these glitches are tradition, but I'm still trying to get them out of here. Anyways, guys, until next week, stay yummy, you yem-yems.
Public Yemeni #1.